LeBron James is very political. No, I wouldn't even say very political. LeBron James occasionally has a political bent, but not that often, frankly. I mean, LeBron James had no interest talking about the China situation at all. Why? Because LeBron wanted to protect his business. And I'm totally for LeBron bailing on one thing and going in. A lot of people criticized him. How can you talk about this and not that? It's LeBron's choice. He can talk about whatever he wants to talk about. It's his brand. It's his $800 million to $1 billion brand. Joy is joining me. Joy, how are things on a Monday?
Everything is very good. It's sunny outside.
Yeah.
We're working.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
We cannot complain. By the way, I did get a haircut. Real quick, look.
It looks good.
Oh.
You know, I was going to ask. I was like, it's looking
Yeah, listen,
a little spikier than usual.
I wore a mask. The guy came over to my house. He wore a mask. Let's stop. Okay, it's the bottom line. We were responsible, but I paid $100. I dropped $100 and said, come over here. It's a mop. Look like a dead cat. Cut it.
I thought it was very, sunshine, remember the Titans-esque. It was a look you were working.
Everybody wants to shame you. Oh, well, what are you doing? It's like, I'm fine. I'm good. You worry about you, I'll worry about me. Social distancing, we both wore masks. Here's $100, cut this mess. All right, it's time for, as we do every Monday at this time, Colin right, Colin wrong. Here we go.
Where Colin was right.
Didn't buy into Mitch Trubisky day one, and I didn't buy into all the public support by the Bears front office for Mitch Trubisky, and what do you know? The Bears declined to pick up his fifth-year option. Listen, Ryan Pace, the general manager, whiffed badly. Has to own it, and Matt Nagy, a brilliant young head coach, has had to pick up the pieces for this. Mitch Trubisky's got an 86 passer rating. I didn't like when he got picked. I've never bought into all this nonsensical public support, and the Bears now acknowledging, we just, we're not going to build around him going forward.
Where Colin was wrong.
Well, Joe Burrow has been picked as the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not a bet I would make. Fox Bet's got the over-under for Cincinnati on 5.5 wins. So let's say he wins 5 games. That's the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, it is possible. Kyler Murray just did that. But I think he's viewed as a savior. I think this division is the best division in football defensively with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. I think he's going to be overwhelmed. I'm not saying he's a bust, but I don't see him flourishing. And by the way, he's going to have to start day one. Tua's not. And he's also no OTAs. Maybe a truncated camp. Everything's working against Joe Burrow. He's good enough, I think, to withstand it, but I don't think he'll flourish in these times.
Where Colin was right.
Bob McGinn, 35-year, 40-year Green Bay Packer reporter, now with The Athletic, last week said the Packers chose a quarterback due to Aaron Rodgers' attitude. They want to tell Aaron, we run this place. Why am I right? Because I think I was one of the first voices, certainly nationally, to say, dude, Aaron's a lot of work. I mean, you don't have Drew Brees' family taking shots at him, brothers taking shots at him, teammates taking. You don't see that with any other quarterback. There was also a quote last week that Aaron is Jay Cutler with a ring. Several years ago, I was told by a coach in the NFL, Mike McCarthy had told somebody he's Jay Cutler with talent. The bottom line with Aaron Rodgers, he's gifted but difficult. Bob McGinn acknowledging it.
Where Colin was wrong.
Andrew Berry is the new Browns GM. He doubled down saying, OBJ, long-term Cleveland Brown plans. I don't think it's the best fit. I think OBJ and Baker is problematic. I think you're asking Baker Mayfield to produce big numbers when Baker's now got 2 good tight ends, 2 good running backs, 2 good receivers. I think it's actually unfair to Baker Mayfield, who I've been critical of. But they think it's going to work. I don't think it's an ideal fit, but Andrew Berry, once again, is doubling down. We're into OBJ. He's going nowhere.
Where Colin was right.
There's been a lot of people, journalists, saying that LeBron James would rather shut this season down. LeBron came out last week and said, I definitely want to play. Don't believe anything you hear. Everybody I talk to wants to play. And according to another story, he is all in on Disney World. I don't get this. Day one on this, I don't get it. The Lakers are the second oldest roster, I believe, in the NBA. There's going to be no help in free agency. It's a bad free agent class. There's going to be no help in this draft. And frankly, the cap's going to go down. The Lakers don't want to blow through the cap and get the luxury tax penalty. I don't understand any argument that LeBron James wants to shut it down. I would argue that post-virus, the people who will benefit in this will be veteran players who have homes and workout facilities and are in the best shape. You see what Russell Wilson's doing with this virus. That's not what Sam Darnold perhaps is doing with this virus. So I don't get the arguments that LeBron doesn't want a season. I think he wants it more than anybody.
Where Colin was right?
I've said Joy is my witness. I don't buy into Jarrett Stidham necessarily, but I think New England's in a total reboot. And Andy Dalton, nope. Teddy Bridgewater, nope. Cam, nope. This is all playing into what I believe is true. They let go of their kicker, their best defensive playmaking linebackers. They have decided we're going to keep Stephon Gilmore and mostly let talented guys go. They didn't address in a dynamic draft. They didn't address it. They're going to go with Jarrett Stidham, and what they're telling you is we're going to reboot. We're going to see how this works. And gosh darn it, we went 6-10. We've got the number 9 pick and a bunch of draft picks to move up in cap space. I've never thought this year, I've never taken the report seriously on the Cam Newtons and the Jameis Winstons going to New England. I think they're in reboot mode, and once again, they passed on Andy Dalton.
Where Colin was wrong.
3 of the top 15 high school stars are now going to the G League. Zion showed kids how the college basketball platform works. I think the NBA is making a mistake. I think they're doing what baseball does, putting kids in an anonymous minor league system. Then they go off to teams I don't watch, and they never make the postseason for years and years. I think the strength of the NFL is the college football marketing platform. And I'm wrong on this. The NBA sees no value whatsoever for college basketball. And increasingly, despite what Zion did, high school stars see very little value in college basketball. For 6 months, I don't get it. I mean, I understand if you have no interest in going to college. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it looks like there's a momentum happening where college basketball going forward has no value to top players. I'm wrong, and I think it's a mistake.
Where Colin was right?
Cam Newton has no job still. Andy Dalton out of work for a day. Celebrity, injuries, doesn't win enough. And mechanically, not the same player. I never bought into this was a dynamic job market for Cam Newton. Nobody wants a celebrity backup. And let's be honest, all my sources through the years have said he's distracted and there's a lot of drama that doesn't get out. Ron Rivera keeps it squelched, but I never believed there was a dynamic job market for Cam Newton. I believe Cam will eventually, after an injury, find a job. But the market for Cam, I've always believed, is much smaller than Twitter thinks.
Where Colin was right?
Finally, the NFL has always been the league. They're like a movie studio. They put all their platforms, they put all their events in the time of year that will best serve consumption. So college football last week paused on playing, and what did the NFL do? We'll play Saturday. We'll put games Saturday, because that's what the NFL does. It is why I believe they're the most nimble league. They're the antithesis of baseball, and it's something I have given the NFL a ton of credit for. They look at their schedule. They move free agency. They move the combine. They'll move their schedule. They'll change their rules. The minute college football pauses on their season, the NFL came out last week and said, yeah, we'll play Saturday too. This is their strength, evolving, adapting, nimble. And they did it again last week. Charles Barkley's around the corner. He's always fun. Jane Slater later this hour.